Welcome back, everyone. I got a question not too long ago regarding the basic ground manners of horses. Here is my list of basic ground manners, maneuvers, and things I like my horses to have. Just useful buttons that my horses need when I need them to move at a certain point, in a different situations, whether it's backing out of a trailer, moving sideways out of my way, getting them out of a dangerous situation, etc. So here are the maneuvers that I like to have on every horse that I work with. One of the most important aspects of ground manners is being respectful of the handler's space. I like my horses to be energetic when bleeding and staying up beside me. I like to be able to have the ability to move the horse into my space and move it out whenever I'd like. So wiggling the rope to make them back up is a useful feature when getting out of a horse trailer or just needing them to back up in general. Backing up is not a natural gait, so it's useful when you need to get their attention quickly. Also, I teach the horses to flex laterally and help with the flexibility of their neck while standing still. This motion is the basis of a lot of different motions, like the yielding of the hindquarters. Yielding the hindquarters is also a foundational motion for a lot of different under-saddle exercises. A lot of symptoms I see are a cause of head shyness, so I make sure the horses are comfortable with me around their face. Which leads us to yielding the front end of the horse while standing still, also known as pivoting and showmanship. This is the last thing that dominant horses want to give up, is their head and shoulders, yielding to the handler. This is often where I find the most resistance with most horses. Remember, in groundwork, 2 eyes is always better than 2 heels. So make sure your horse is always keeping their eyes towards you and their butt away from you. When I heard the saying that you can always outrun a horse running backwards, gave me a lot of confidence in my groundwork. I like a horse also to stand still without me having to hold on to it while I check all 4 of its feet. And just walking around your horse will show you how much your horse wants to be with you with the lead rope on the ground. Another thing is head desensitization. I wave my arms around my horse in front of it to try and find those oh no spots, which is them saying, I'm not real sure about what you're doing. Of course, there is desensitizing that go along with a lot of these exercises, but that's a whole nother topic that we will cover in a later video. Also, just being able to handle the horse's face, looking at its teeth, rubbing in its nostrils, petting its ears, putting your fingers down in the ears are all things that I also like to work with every horse I work with, just to make sure they're okay with me just handling them all over. This is something that I exercise and work towards after I desensitize all of the head shyness out of the horse prior to attempting any of these exercises. One of the symptoms I see of head shyness is difficulty bridling and haltering a horse. Teaching a horse to lower their head upon command does make that a whole lot easier, just by pressing on the pole and working for that pressure release. A horse that is willing to keep eyes on you the entire time while moving around that horse's body, it shows that your horse is respectful of you, but also willing to move out of your space. And our last exercise is flipping the rope up and around the horse's head to make sure they're not head shy. That is all for this time. I hope you enjoyed it, and please let me know what you'd like to see in the next one. So happy trails!